Like they usually clock in around 9.
Okay, there it is.
There we go.
There it is. You are being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nerzi, is you ready?
I'm ready.
Del Pesh, is you ready?
Got it ready. So
All
you
right.
don't have to get ready.
Yeah, stay ready, so get ready. In the world where it is now 2022, where
Oxtail will be $30 this year. I'm sorry, guys.
will be $30. Diseases are doing the fusion, and whipping together to make a new strain, like it's a new strain of weed. And what else is happening? People are having more than hot sauce in their bag. This is the vent. I'm your host, Jay Hunneville. We got the Nerdsy here.
Hey.
I think I'm glitching all over the place, aren't I?
A little bit, you know.
You're unfrozen now. Yeah.
Okay. We got Del Pesh here.
Right here in the flesh, aka Captain Corners, aka I bring the crowd with me everywhere I go, aka I am not Earl Sweatshirt, but shout out to him though.
Okay. It's 2022, guys. How are you guys doing? How did you like end your year? How did you guys start your year? How are you guys feeling? We'll go down the line.
I ended with a bang. Bow. Shots of never mind. I mean no. It's peaceful. Just regular New Year's. Figure out this. No, I was on a Twitter space. That was like it was getting a little hectic. For New Year's, everybody was drunk in the space. It was wild. Yeah. It was wild. Yeah. You know, hang out with family, friends. That's really it. Just relaxing, you know.
How about you, Nerd Z?
Left 2021 with my family, brought in 2022 with family, and I have just been shooting, man. No, not these type of shooting, but this type of shooting.
No, you did a little bit of shooting this weekend. I saw it.
Yes, I was.
We'll bring it up.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of work, especially for photography, and that's where my mind has been, like working in photography and just working in general, working on me mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Yeah, that's really it.
How did I start it off? Oh, I started the end of my year off in Louisiana. For my lady. We did a little slow dance to the new year, you know, a little cute thing, you know. It was cold, like it was nice in Louisiana, but it's cold. They had like 2 days, it was kind of cold. Like the funny thing is their cold is not like our cold, but like their cold is still, you got to prepare. Like their cold is like what, 1 degree?
Okay.
So it's like it's nothing to us, but like it's still cold enough to be like, hey, if you don't have a hoodie or you're not prepared for that, then you're gonna be cold.
Yeah.
I went to Texas, and Texas was lit. Went to Graffiti Alley. People were working, like everybody was just, it was like normal. No lockdown, nothing. When I was in the country and I heard that Toronto's back on lockdown, like I said, oh Lord, I hope I don't have to go through customs like that again. And then, long story short, yeah, it was a good trip. Came back. Beer nonsense has been going on, apparently. I wasn't aware of this, but I heard this whole thing about China, I guess because everybody's going through pandemic stuff and things are getting on lockdown, factories are getting on lockdown, affects China, which means it affects us. All these other places, it affects them too, so it's affecting us. And now it's like first is affecting things that are coming in ports, is affecting things that come in the air, and now it's affecting the land with the trucks. Now, the US truckers now, you know what I mean, that come to our country shipping our stuff. There's a new vaccine mandate for them now. Now they gotta feel the wrath that we gotta feel every day.
Wow.
So would you call it wrath, or what would you call it? What would you call it?
Oh no, this is wrath. I'm just saying wow, just as an added effect.
It's the word.
It's just at this point, man, I don't know. So it's like everyone's winging it. That's what, it's like everybody's winging it. Like,
well, no, we're the only ones winging it because everywhere else seems to be normal now.
And well, but yeah, normal. Yeah, like UK, like Boris is like, you know what? It's an endemic now. He's just got like, you know what? Enough of this. Like, at this point, we're moving on.
They said they
right?
took off their mask. I had it.
No, like I'm saying that's coming soon. Right?
And we'll see what happens. But apparently, what did it says here? There are 120,000 Canadians and 40,000 licensed drivers in the US who operate cross-border. The Canadian Trucking Alliance say while about 70% of the 648 billion in trade between two countries move by truck. So, under the vaccine mandate, unvaccinated or partially vaccinated non-Canadian truckers will be turned away if they aren't able to show proof of vaccination or a valid medical exemption to the COVID-19 vaccines. The US plans to have similar mandates coming to effect for drivers crossing into the country starting January the 22nd.
That I heard that after, yeah. And Mexico too.
So basically they call this throwing a major wrench into the trucking industry. It's clink, 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 into the gears of what they're trying to have. Now, guys, this just goes to show that, you know, I don't know what's really being shipped here.
Everything.
Exactly.
And like
no, not shipped, but like from truckers, like truckers here and there.
Everything, food, your oranges, groceries, literally like everything. Cars. We
make stuff, but like we don't
make anything for ourselves. Everything,
I think we make, but we don't make enough to survive.
Like seriously.
No, we don't make anything. Name something that's Canadian aside from that's like a big mask company that's Canadian.
I'd say the biggest thing I would say that I remember
as a manufacturer.
I was about to say trees, still wood.
That's lumber.
Even lumber, but even so, lumber prices went up.
Yeah.
Lumber service prices went up. So
So aside from our trees and aside from our syrup,
then you have
what do we make?
Poutines.
I mean
potatoes.
Potatoes aren't even from
potatoes.
We don't harvest our potatoes.
We have some potatoes here. PI potatoes.
Oh, those masks we're making, but then the Canadians get it first.
McCain potatoes.
So
the McCain.
Where are those potatoes actually from, though? They're most likely from the US.
McCain don't like.
Is Pop-Tarts Canadian or is that different? No, that's
I think McCain is Canadian, like all the way.
McCain is Canadian. But when it comes to packaging it, factories, and producing it, do we actually produce it here, or do we send it off to produce it and then bring it back?
See, that's the key part.
I think we do still.
Any
based on what I remember, I think we do.
Any type of screw you buy from the store is not made for here at all. It's made in China. So it's like, ooh.
right? And
This-
Well,
sometimes those trucks can be the pickup point in the States because it's cheaper, and then they courier it past the border
Yeah.
than to
So-
fly
what
it.
would be cool? What would be cool if they just dropped off the trucks and then we just take them? Ah, we're back saying thank you, and just
This-
is that how
Just stop at the border,
works? Stop at the border
cross the
truck.
bridge. Ah,
Like you know how you have airports, right? Technically,
Mhm.
like the flight attendants, yeah, they get by, but then like it's all Canadian or whatever that works at the airport that have to deal with your case now.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So
mm. It's like duty free. I get what you're saying.
duty free, yeah.
basically, but I don't know if they're gonna want to be like, no, this truck's from America. We're taking it back. You know what I
Well,
mean?
technically they can't because they can't.
Can you imagine if a truck
don't-
driver's like they had to turn around, like, nah, you can't come in. And they have to
Yeah,
go, all
like
right.
like you actually have to turn back. What are you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna tell you this: if you're a truck driver, first off, I didn't even know Canada was taking exemptions. That's first. I did not know that.
That threw me off too. I was like, what?
So if there's an American exemption, just know, and it passes and it clears, just know the streets is on fire
You can't.
with exemption.
So-
The streets will be on fire with American exemption cards.
I was more so gonna ask how many American trucks or truck drivers actually pass through Canadian borders daily.
Like a lot.
It must be a lot if it's 64 bill.
It's a lot.
638 billion. It must be.
Like I think a ratio. I'm gonna throw a ballpark, like maybe like 3-1. So every 3 American truck drivers, there's 1 Canadian. Yeah, every 3-1. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Is, yeah.
So they're bringing a lot of us, like a lot of things over for
Hold on.
us.
Let me Google this. Hold on.
Yeah, like
Now,
How many?
I think this type of situations, like these situations, make you realize that hey, I think it's time to be more self-sufficient some way, somehow. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but
in Canada.
I think it's possible. They're
I
gonna figure that out,
mean,
but I think it's needed. But here's another thing
Is
I thought
it-
about.
I mean, what's the Canadian car company that we had? And then, we decided to not support our own.
What company is that?
Wasn't it GMC? No.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything
Who's the
about
Canadian brand, car van brand? Do we
Was it
have one?
that.
Wait, was it?
I don't know anything
no,
about
not
cars, though.
Not like that. No.
Oh,
I don't know
well,
anything about cars.
well, there, right off the bat, there you go. Self-sufficiency. How are we transporting each other if we don't even have our own car?
Because like Ford in them is like American, like Ford, GM.
Yes, GM.
Dodge, DM,
Dodge,
like a rock.
Like, I was gonna read the commercial.
Like a rock.
I remember that commercial. Holy shit. And then like
Yeah.
Honda, Toyota, Lexus. That's like not even ours. That's like in.
Mhm.
Unless you're thinking BlackBerry, but then BlackBerry they just sold that just recently. I think like
Oh, so we don't have
The BlackBerry
telecommunications.
said
yeah, the BlackBerry's like
they're dead.
Yo, do you do like self-sufficiency? How are we doing this? We don't have a vehicle manufactured here on our own soil, so we can't get around. We don't have a
Well,
phone.
I think they're made here, but they're not like owned here. They're not like
That's what
Canadian
I mean.
owned.
If
I
they
think we
decide to
just-
stop sending the parts because the trucks can't come over, that means we don't have a factory to make and we don't have jobs making it. So that's a standby. No one's going to be getting any cars made from anywhere else now. Then phone wise, our BlackBerry, we sold ourselves out. So now we have no form of like actual telecommunications. So how are we going to get this messaging across? On what device?
I think the same device is whatever we have left. Like whatever
We have left.
But I think I don't it's not that I don't for me, I don't think it's not that we're gonna get stuff. I think things are just gonna be more expensive.
because people price gouge, and that's what people don't
I mean,
understand.
you actually want to
Some
be
things-
sitting here with this inflation? Listen, I
And
don't.
then I sometimes I feel like certain people, certain companies, certain industries, they're not gonna feel any pain, but they're gonna mark up like everybody else
They're
is.
price gouge, man. They really. As soon as the news said that announcement, they're like, "Yeah, okay, we're gonna up the
Yeah.
price already."
But
That's
that's
it.
Fuck up
even
this place.
worse because America already is like the place where you go to get it for less.
To get the
So if
low.
we're gouged, who's coming up to us?
I don't know.
You see how
Okay.
we're like, that's not good. Like, this is
I
not.
think based off our dollar, um, I feel like when you go to America, you got to make America money. If you make a certain amount of money in America and you come here, you might be okay. But going to America, when you
Yeah.
realize your $100 bill will give you like maybe like
Like a
70
high 80.
bucks,
Yeah, like a high 80. Yeah.
side 87, you're like, hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
So, but here's another thing I thought about, like just in regards to like people nowadays, COVID, I felt like COVID made people realize the essential of their careers, who they are as a person. Like a lot of things changed when perspectives of people when COVID hit. When people on lockdown, it felt like everybody started to think and consider their mental health, different things, purpose, why am I even here, stuff like that. Now, in a world where like now it's like, you know, you look in the country and you're like, okay, it's time to be self-sufficient, right?
Mm.
How do you like promote that to people that are like, I don't want to work in a warehouse anymore? You know what I mean? Like there's probably some people that are like, I don't want to be a worker anymore. I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to be an owner.
Mhm.
Like how do you like, I feel like for things to go around, the world go around, not everybody can be an owner. Like there has to be some workers and it has to be some type of like give. So I'm like, is it
Yeah,
possible? Like, is it possible that like, hey, we start opening up, I don't know,
our own
warehouses and
places.
mills and stuff?
Let's say
Yes, it
Is it
is
is it
very
worth
possible.
is it even it's possible?
Yes, it is very possible. Okay, so one of the biggest, like, when you were younger, right? One of the biggest issues that I felt, especially when entering into the labor force, was you didn't get enough experience because you didn't do any type of volunteer work. No one was trying to take an intern. No one was trying to do all these things that would have prepared you or given you some set of skills for you to be able to be hireable,
Mm.
right? So as a young person, I feel like that demographic of people would definitely be able to go into the force or the work field and be workers because they're young, they got life ahead of them. It also helps them get some skills and everybody's happy because now we got people filling in positions. Like, I don't see the issue here.
No,
But
I'm just mm.
unless you can figure out like, because some people buy like what wholesale cocoa butter and just be like, I'm just gonna make my own style, and then just
yo,
they do their
on
whole thing with Spotify, not Spotify. I keep saying Spotify, Shopify.
Shopify.
So
But
they
you know what? Being an entrepreneur is hard. Like,
it is.
what? You got to fund your own stuff. And this is especially if you're not getting it from grants or from the government. And if you are getting from the government, the other part that people don't tell you is that your secret investor is the government at that point. So you are giving them a shared equity of your stuff. Like,
That's yeah, that's
you
That, I
take
mean,
a
that's
$10,000
if you're not
loan.
if you're running cash the whole life. It's like if you're running cash your whole life,
Nah,
you might
like,
have to.
it's just there's certain things like, and even then, so it's like you still have to have a community of people to shop from you anyways. So that's another thing. It's like, how well is your social group as an entrepreneur? And if everybody around you doesn't even have a job, how are you making money for real, for real? Like,
that's yeah.
your
Well,
business.
I guess that's something you gotta consider. Um, I don't know. For me, it's just outside looking in. I'm just like, man. Sometimes I wonder how. Like, I know it seems important, and I know it is, but I wonder how is certain things really like. I understand this is a dent But how much is it a dent? Like, because I know, like, I feel like we're gonna learn to adjust some way, somehow, because I feel like everybody's losing money. Like, I read this article about the ports, like those shipping ports
Mhm.
for truckers and trailers and stuff, how they're losing a lot of money due to this. It's
So
like,
we've been losing a lot of money at the ports for a very long time,
So
though. We don't tax people to go through our tariffs, for example, which is wild. But everyone taxes us.
like for your container sitting at the port, that costs like
Like,
it costs
man,
anywhere from like low 7,000 to like
yeah,
16,000 a day
a day.
just sitting there, right? And then they got to make that money back, and they got a price gouge, and then they got to pay people to move it. Because by the way, with this whole trucker thing too, like they couldn't find people in the first place because of the COVID thing, right?
Mm.
So this is so
no.
remember that now this is on top of it now. There's a
Mm-hmm.
mandate, right? So it's like,
Mm-hmm. Especially if you had to quarantine for whatever.
and the quarantine part. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that word. I haven't heard that word in a minute. Like the whole quarantine after you like cross border.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, people are living their everyday life. If it's not affecting them, totally understood. But in a larger scale, right? Like when you put all the information together and look at it, it's like, how does that actually move the country and like make it work? That may be a different story when you look at it. Like when you take not from the little person, but you take a whole step back to look at the bigger picture of everyone combined, it might not be as great as it seems, right?
Yeah. So
So like the other day I was talking to a friend and
Well,
they were like, oh, the employment rate went up. And they were like making it like, oh my gosh, the employment rate is so great. Ooh, it went up like, I don't know, 3%, let's say 3%. And it's like, hip, hip, hooray. But then it's been the lowest it has ever been within the past like 25 years.
yeah.
Like madness. We've been in double digits. I think we like got to like either 12 to 15% in unemployment. And the last time they even reached a number like that was like closer to the depression. So it's like, yo,
What is really going on here?
right? But they're celebrating about that 3% that went up.
I don't believe no one's numbers. Ever since 2000, I almost said 2029, 2019 December. I believe no one's numbers.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like fudging their numbers at this point.
Yeah.
in 2019, like, I remember in 2019, you heard the numbers, like, oh, shoot. They heard the numbers, oh, shoot.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
oh,
right?
oh. And then when it hit 2020, I think everybody said, wait, hold on. Didn't you say
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, what? Wait, hold on. Then how? Then it was just questions after questions after
Mm.
questions that
It's
just weren't
true.
being answered. And then it became, it was one of those things that it's like, okay, we're still riding with you. We understand what you're saying, but
Mm.
you're still not answering my question.
Mm.
So I don't know how to go about this. Like, I don't know how
Mm.
to feel. I don't know how to, like, what do I do now? We don't need us Justin Trudeau to pop up all the time. We're like, hey, my fellow,
At
was
this,
it my fellow Canadians?
my fellow Canadian, at
My
this
fellow
point, man,
Canadians.
like,
At this point, as you are aware
Mm.
that this is happening, that's happening, and we need each other to stand together as Canadians to work together. And it's like, okay, all right, we get all that. It's all cute and all. What's next?
Mm. But
But
you know
hey,
what's crazy? Oh, hmm.
sorry, continue.
I was gonna say, you know what, with the truck stuff, I'm not surprised because it's actually been happening for quite some time. I, if you're doing grocery shopping in a few of the groceries, like a Freshco or, Metro or even No Frills, there are certain aisles that are now empty. And they have had like, what's it called? Posters saying that the shipment for whatever this brand is or whatever item of food, it's like currently out of stock due to not knowing when it's going to actually be refilled. So this has been happening for quite some time. So maybe this is just the first like public announcement that everyone now knows that the trucks are really being affected. You may not
Right.
get certain food items. And like cereal, if you've seen the cereal aisles these days,
Bro,
ooh, they are empty.
breath.
Yo, but here's my problem.
Cheerios is
This is
almost
the
$7 a box.
but
Cheerios.
here's my problem. Here's
Like,
my problem with all this.
Mm,
I went to the fast food, like I went to some drive-through and they said even their veggie and produce, their prices are going up, right?
mm,
I went to some grocery stores, they still have a full stock of food, like they still have a full stock of thing. So
mm,
sometimes I wonder, I'm like, are people just capping? Like, I know, like are people just like, yo, we took a dent. Yo, they don't need grapes right now.
no,
Nah,
but
we ain't doing
but
so,
have you seen the shelf life though?
grapes. No, I
That's
know,
the
but which I get, but they're probably like, yo, they don't need shelves. We need to make up money on all these sanitizers we bought. So put those at the front. You know what I mean? Sometimes I wonder if it's just a chess move, but I may
no,
be
like
dumb to think that
I
way.
I feel like it's been delayed. Like it's not even like the grocery stores don't have more food or like it's been like what's the word? Like there's abundance. Literally, it seems like yeah, they have abundance, but I feel like it's abundance, but it's backlogged. So it's like the say for example, if it was strawberries should have the shipment should have came in on a Tuesday, but it was delayed because whatever's happening at the border. And then it came in at a Saturday. And the other truck driver also came in on a Saturday.
ooh,
So now it seems like it's a lot, but those strawberries that were supposed to come in on Tuesday, they're gonna spoil a lot faster. And we all know mold is very contagious. So the good batch is gonna get also contaminated as well. So it's like I bought like strawberries one day, and as soon as I got home, the mold was all over it. And I was like,
really?
happened. Yeah. Like I was like, this is madness. Literally took them home and in the like hours that it was in my fridge, mold.
As soon as the oxygen just touched it,
Like, come
Oxidized
on.
strawberries.
they
It was
just
crazy. But it just makes me think like, how long were these strawberries there for?
they probably
Yeah.
they probably just
When
want
did
like
they
Get
get
the
into the
strawberries
shop?
from in the back. Get the strawberries in the back. Throw them in the front.
Right? This is from Tuesday's shipment. Just put them in the front, make them look good, spray some water on them, get the light on them real nice.
Double set the clock for the automatic sprayer. Put it for double
oh
time.
Right?
Double
Like,
time. Triple time the clock. Because make the romaine lettuce crisp.
but it turned
But
brown in 2 hours.
my girl said brown. I thought you were gonna say green something. She's brown.
well,
Like
I don't know. I don't know how we change this. I
Well,
hope we find a way to
that,
figure it out.
that's what I'm saying. That's just to say, I think the effects of what's happening at the border has already been setting in.
yo,
Just
imagine go to the Wendy's or McDonald's and they're like, yeah, we don't have buns right now. Like we have the patty and lettuce, but we don't have tomatoes and we don't have buns right now. And just like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have buns.
more times I pull off.
Yeah,
Like,
but how many McDonald's are you gonna pull off from if they're all catching that?
Well,
That's
that's when you
actually
learn to make your own food.
that's
well, yeah. Obviously, you're gonna make your own food, but I mean, if by the time you bring your food home and in like 4 hours it's spoiled, there's a problem
Uh,
each direction.
if that well, in the summer, one thing I do plan to do is learn how to plant more crops and stuff.
Pardon.
I'm going
yeah.
back then. I'm going back to gardening.
Go back to
I'm
the
on
grandparents' ages, you know.
the grandparents till the back, corn, everything. I'm gonna learn how to make.
Man is waiting
I'm
for his next 2 years.
gonna get a greenhouse set up. And make a little sitting, yo.
The next time you eat pineapple, apparently you could chop off the top and just replant it. It takes a while, but it will grow.
Mhm.
I'm not really a pineapple fan anymore. I don't I don't need it
Anymore.
added. I don't like pineapples.
That's it.
The taste is it's weird on my tongue now, yo. I'm not really.
Oh, like they call it it starts with a B.
Mm.
It's a special mineral in there. Like it could It can almost feel like allergic reaction if you eat it.
Yeah,
And I know what you're talking
I'm
about.
not fond of it. So that's not going in the bag. Speaking of bags, um, there's this alleged rumor going on. I'll call it a rumor because I don't know the source. We don't know, but it's an interesting thing that has happened, transpired, if you could say. Um, uh, it was kind of spicy information, quite spicy information about Toronto, October's very own Arbery Graham, as we may know as Drake. Apparently,
What's his full name? Okay.
apparently, allegedly, um, what do you call what would you this lady, this woman, and Drake had a what do you call it, sexual encounter? I'm trying to be very professional here.
Sexual encounter, yeah.
Yeah, sexual encounter when consists of sex and and safe sex if that's you if you know
Definitely.
That's
and
very, very safe, I should say. Emphasize the very safe.
right
Really not enough, but mm-hmm.
right. Oh, you're buffering.
We can hear you though.
And well, you said that, not me. But so basically, long story short, after the deed was done, am I still buffering?
Mm-mm.
Uh-oh, it looks like I'm still buffering.
You're going like in and out. Yeah.
Am I still buffering? Am I still buffering?
Yeah.
I don't know, you may have to get the internet provider a call.
Am I buff? Hello, can you hear me? Check.
I guess
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me though?
It's just
Yeah.
a picture.
We
Like,
can hear you. You're just still.
you're just still, yeah. You're what does it say? That you're caught in the matrix right now.
Oh.
I think it's a snowstorm or something that's happening. Can you guys hear me now?
It's a storm.
Yes.
Okay. Well, basically, long story short, Drizla Kalanji
Wow.
was doing the deed, and we're gonna do alleged play-by-play.
Why are we doing a dramatization? What is going on?
Okay,
Right?
dramatization may or may not have happened. Apparently, the lady said he went into the washroom to throw out the baby butter, baby batter.
The condom, bro. The condom.
It was
Like,
tied,
what?
yeah, and
First
it
of
was
all,
thrown.
wait, let's
And
play
it
with
was
that a second. It'd be very wild if someone fired a shot, scooped up the baby batter, and threw it into the garbage or the toilet. That'd be very wild if someone did that.
This is very much so.
But that didn't happen.
No, it did not. But basically, according to this woman's situation and take, Drake threw the Jimmy in the garbage. Now,
so
let's pause right here.
So walk into the bathroom, you do a 3 scoop, you hear the in the
No, not 3 scoop. You just pull off, and apparently it was tied and thrown into the garbage.
So peeled off, 3 shot in the basket. Okay.
The man said he is throwing jumpers with the Jimmy in the garbage. Man said and no. But okay, like based off my past back in the day, when I wasn't saved by the hand of Jesus.
Like Jesus.
First off, based off what I remember, I have never tied my Jimmy bag. Never said, okay, I'm pulling this off. I'm a tie a knot, and I have never thrown it in the garbage. Those two things have. Well, wait. Those two things I never threw it in the washroom garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think that's I don't know if that's etiquette, but I feel like those protection plans are flushable. I would assume so.
No, you're not supposed to put a condom in the toilet.
You're not supposed to, yeah, because you got to call the plumber after, and then the
Yeah.
plumber comes over and they fish it out, and they're like, "Oh, what Ross is this?" And you know, a Jamaican plumber or Trinity plumber.
I didn't. We are the man.
I don't think he'd be holding it that close to his face, though.
Not like close, but like he has the straighters is on his like equipment.
I probably have the pliers holding it or something.
I'll mash up y'all, mash up the drain it. Yo,
right?
Yo. He's like,
put the rocks.
I want this, man. I want y'all do this, man.
Yeah, what are you dealing with?
What y'all deal with?
Yeah, you'd probably be like, this is what you call me for?
This is what you call yo. I hold it book. Anyway, but then I'm well, I can say the times that I've flushed it, that has not as happened as yet. I don't know what the future may hold on that part, but I'll throw everything in the garbage based off what I remember.
I sure want you to throw it in the garbage. Like, I sure want you to throw it in the garbage. Like,
throw into in the wash in the toilet and flush it.
No, I'm saying like
flushing.
Like I'll throw it in the trash, but then wouldn't the air just like kill the sperm? Because like you need certain temperature.
Oxygen, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Although
I don't know.
But these type of women these days, I wouldn't actually never risk that. But I'm just saying.
There's so many problems in this whole scenario, man. Like,
no, Z. Some women have, they must have went to medical school or listened to those medical shows on Fox.
I've heard
of like even so, no, it's just I just want you to get to the meat of this story because there's so many things that are so wrong. Like,
okay. So we're at the washroom. It's in the It's in the washroom trash can. Okay, continue.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense, but hey, that's what happened.
That's the light part. But
he went to use the washroom, came out. The woman goes in the wash. You know, that's a normal thing, I would assume. You know, after things is happening, girl goes in or guy goes in, whoever goes in first, whatever.
You know, to freshen up.
She goes,
wipe off the,
takes it out the garbage. Now, there's a flag on a plate right there.
Like, yeah,
definite flag on the plate.
I mean, that's not really a flag, but
It's not a flag on a play in the streets, but it's a flag on a play. It's a legit flag on a play. Legit flag on a play. Legit flag. So, yeah, it's a legit flag on a play. No debating.
Okay.
Now, as she continues to open, I guess I don't know how you have to be. The way I see it, like to say, you know, I'm gonna open this bag and like picture pat your whatever. I don't know how that works.
Turkey base. Yes, turkey base.
Breast. And she said she felt the heat.
Wait, what? What did you felt the heat?
She felt the heat. Apparently, it was hot. And she was screaming, or you know, down there was on fire, and
Z, but
apparently Drake runs into the washroom. She's like, "What the hell? Down there is burning." And then he said, "Well, because it's sponsored by Beyonce, he puts hot sauce in his bag." Now, question:
right there. Z, you can't agree with that part. What just happened? What?
Because how do you not see the color change?
I don't know. Maybe
it's hot sauce. It's red. It's orange. It's a color.
Maybe.
Oftentimes it's either clear or it is of a whitish color. So why are you putting an off-white substance in your thing? Because then at that point, I'm gonna have to be concerned about Drake.
I mean,
wait, that's a wrong question. Why are you? Wait, why is everyone skipping over the obvious question? Fishing in the garbage can to.
Some people be drinking that stuff. Listen, there's a girl who's on Instagram and she be putting it on her face. Saying it's her rejuvenation cream.
Wait, stop. See, you went too many steps. Explain that part. As
my see, you guys are making it very graphic. And my question wasn't even that.
I said some people
question,
drink that stuff. That's what I said.
I was not making it any type of graphic.
My
question was,
that's not graphic at all. Huh?
My question was simply, what pepper sauce was it? Was it sriracha? Was it the Grace pepper sauce?
Either which way, that means it's not white or clear. Like how? Oh my gosh! See, this is
can you imagine it was the Grace pepper sauce? So you have to for the drop, like you know, like because it has a little the red cap, and this,
and it'd still be red
pepper sauce. Yeah, it would, but I guess she wasn't thinking that he probably wasn't enough. Well, there's a taint of red, maybe.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, make it make sense.
But maybe
girls be saying it's not mathing, okay?
Maybe
the math ain't mathing.
Just maybe.
Maybe what?
Blood was drawn in the whole mix of whatever was happening.
And that's what I'm saying. Then I would be concerned about Drake.
Know.
It's because it's blood drawn.
That's what I mean. Like,
we don't know, but not who knows if it's Drake or the gal. Maybe remember, you're throwing yourself in the garbage. Who the hell knows what's in the garbage? You're throwing things in the garbage. Like people are coming for Drake on the situation when just why are you going back in the garbage? That's the thing where it's like.
That's what I'm saying. You kind of skipped over it. Well, not to put on Z, but like.
If this was a
situation for it and whatever the case is, yes, that's true.
Like, huh? Like, what are you?
Right. But to some people, that's a whole fetish, and that's like normalized in certain people's like dynamic. Okay.
And that was not consensual.
I mean, the story would not be. Hold on. The story would not be, as it is right now if she went and fished it just to drink it.
But. Well, it wasn't drink.
Why are you bringing drink in the setting? Why,
bruh? Why are we acting like now we're not? Why are people being fake? As if the DP don't exist. People don't engage. That's not something that people do.
No, but that's a different argument, though. Basically, we're doing what happened, not like hypothetical. Like,
yeah, but DP, that's what people do.
No, I'm saying, but she threw it. And like consciously
in the garbage.
Yeah.
It was in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that means no activity is happening after it's in the garbage.
Yeah. Unless
you just make that decision to go in the garbage to do whatever an activity you feel like you need to do, something's wrong. Something's very wrong.
And this is why I said some people engage in some forms of fetishes.
Then because to play with
that was not a fetish. You're looking at a picnic. I try to look.
No, but to play with that argument, that means that she would have to like say this is what I'm into, right? But she didn't say that.
No, she decided to do something that was the complete opposite, which is try to trap. Completely different. That's why I said we wouldn't be having this conversation if she was just going in there to drink it based off of fetish.
Man,
we're having this conversation.
Every time you say drink it, it's like, yo, I get what you're saying, but I wasn't even thinking that far. I'm like, Lord.
Like, why else would you go and scoop up something just to put, and again, even that could be still a fetish too, where it's like sometimes people do that. Listen, I don't make these rules. I don't do this. I'm just saying.
For me, there's a lot of holes in the story.
What?
Like,
Who?
No pun intended.
Like, I get that, but it's like the fact that
funny.
it was just the color alone. How did you not see the color? If we get past the fact that whatever.
She was
quite
desperate.
the story is quite trash. It's
She
quite
saw
trash.
she saw someone with $1 billion. She just went, I'm doing this. Didn't think
That's
it
what
through.
I'm saying. It's just the fact that she really went in there and tried to trap. That's the biggest part of it.
So now listen to the story.
She got
Whose fault
burned.
is it? Who's is it supposed to be Jake's fault that she got burned?
No, it's not Jake's fault.
Okay.
But my question would then be this too. Why do you go around holding hot sauce in your bathroom after having coitus with somebody? That's the other question.
But that's what he said. He said apparently to the lady, he said why? Because the hot sauce is a spermicide and it kills sperm apparently. How like where I was unaware of all this.
This guy explained the science to her. Wow, that's funny. This this.
Okay, so he's using it as
I did not know that was a thing.
Okay.
I guess. Apparently. Allegedly.
He could go to Shoppers Drug Mart and just get a legit spermicide.
And get a spermicide. That's what I'm saying. You're like,
I don't know.
Who said he was in Shoppers Drug Mart? You guys are assuming that he's in Toronto.
No, I'm saying just in like, or like a.
But you could go to any pharmacy place and get some spermicide.
Or like a Walgreens.
Here's the thing. You guys are going at the man like the man should have done all these things when who's really thinking that someone's gonna go in the toilet, the trash and do that? And he did what he felt was supposed to do in order those type of things to happen.
Instead of getting a pharmaceutical thing that actually nolates and like you're gonna get hot sauce. Make it make sense.
Well, but it worked. It worked.
Did it?
It worked.
Did it actually, or did it just burn somebody?
It caught her red-handed.
Wow, what the jokes today. That's wow. But that could have backfired deadly though. If that burst,
that's what I'm saying.
And went on your piece.
But whose fault is that? This is a part of the. It's just. It was caught in the heat of the moment.
Yo, these puns, man. These puns, man. I tell you, man.
No, I don't think he's wrong for doing what he did. He's protecting himself. You know, that's good. And then on top of it, the fact that he had a Jimmy was also really good.
Remember,
I feel like there was a lot of plays on this. He was doing this on purpose.
There was a lot of fire and desire.
This man
play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
He's playing a lot on this.
We don't know what type of pepper. Ghost pepper. It could have been Scotch bonnet.
But either which way.
It could have been one of the what is it? Hot One sauces.
That still has color to it. Like no matter what sauce you say, it still has color to it. So like there's no convincing me otherwise. That's their sauce. It's the color. It's not white. You can tell,
it's quite obvious that she was caught in the heat of the moment and
couldn't use her eyes.
She decided to do what she wanted to do, and she got burnt by it. And you gotta deal with like that is ridiculous of a story. That is. There's just a lot of holes in the situation. That's the lifestyle you chose. That's the lifestyle you chose. And for me, it's just when I listen to this, I kind of just go, why are they doing the man like that, man? Why are they putting these stories? Like, why? Like, what type of story is this?
And she's suing now too. So
what type of story? What type of why is this on the news?
You heard that right? She's suing now.
Like you know when the Will and Jada stuff was coming out, I'm like, why is this? Why is this coming out? Like it got to a point like we get about the affair, but man, you
Every
guys are
minute you
doing
hear
too
something.
much. You're legit doing too much.
Now the part that sidebar, the part that got me with that, like when he said he would have so much sex that he would vomit, I was just like, what? I was
But
and I'm
like, why?
paraphrasing, but like it's like what? Like, why would you share that?
Why
What's
is
that?
that being said?
What was that? He's like mouthing something.
No, I'm just thinking to myself, like, so now she's suing him. And I'm trying to think to myself, like, if she could possibly win. That's really what it is. Like, could she win on this claim?
He may have to pay something though, because like, why would
for like probably the burning.
Oh, like he damaged my nanny.
Yeah.
And,
obviously, it was like, ma'am, let's be honest. But then at the same time, it's a he said, she said. So I mean,
that is a crazy court case.
That's just.
But ma'am, did he intentionally tell you to do this, or did you?
How dare you bring me to show up to a court case like this? I have to be present.
And that's the other thing. He might just even pay the girl just to get her like to go away, because like what's the point of going to the courts? Like,
he
really wanna?
He has to pay something. Unfortunately,
like, that's not a bar. If that's not a bar, it'll track next track.
That's wild. Next time, Drake, go to the Walgreens and get an actual spermicide.
Like, yo, they have foam.
Listen.
Have like 10 different types.
Objection. Objection.
Stick it up in there if you have to before you tie it.
Objection. Objection. I cannot.
What do you want, man?
Object under what grounds? Objection.
Of what?
I cannot have you guys come after my client.
Whose Caribbean grandma told him that was the best way to do that?
Why gotta be a Caribbean grandma? Z.
Objection. I cannot have you guys
deframe. Who else has hot sauce?
Deframe my client based off the grounds of he should get something that's more suitable for the lady. He got something that works. He did not believe that the woman would pick something that was a red
hot is actually a spermicide.
A red substance in her area.
If sperm doesn't work with I think sperm works with body heat only. So anything hotter than that, it'll die. That's how sensitive it is. That's how when you like.
My thing.
Wait, hold on. Because in science class, like when it's inserted through the nani, I'll say, and then you fire a shot, it immediately goes to where it needs to go. But but the body temperature has to be exactly like suitable for it.
Yeah.
So the hot sauce. The hot sauce is like 1,000 Scov. Some are 10,000. I know some Reapers are like 1,000,000. So the minute that sperm cell gets in, it's just like.
But physical heat versus what is that? What is the food heat? Are probably two different things.
You know what stops all of this, guys?
Oh gosh.
Abstinence.
I was gonna say aim at the floor. Aim at the floor.
Like abstinence to the mix, none of this sort of happened. Okay.
Or you take it off and throw it outside somewhere. Just be like, I'll take care of this, and just throw it outside.
Abstinence, guys. Abstinence.
Man said abstinence. I agree, though.
Abstinence does not work.
I think a longer conversation with that girl.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What
are you talking about?
Abstinence does not work.
It would have worked in this situation, because if he had talked to this girl a second to an hour longer, maybe he would have picked up on the fact that this is the type that would probably go into the washroom and throw the little baggie into her hoo-ha.
He should use that.
I don't think it. Wait, hold on. I don't even think it's how long it's. Like sometimes people think like you get to know someone if you just keep talking to them. It's like sometimes it's not even. It could be a various of things, right? It could be the time, but I think it also could be proximity. It's not like you're talking and then an hour hurts. I want your kids. It's like no, that's not how it goes, right?
Although
sometimes it is.
Sometimes
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it is, and you don't see the red flags before it happens.
Or maybe he should have got her a dental dam. How if I've had women in the chat, I'll ask them, do they know about a dental dam?
But you know what?
What is that?
Exactly.
Time out.
A female condom. Exactly. Women don't even wear that. They don't even know where to get it.
They don't, and they're available at Shoppers too.
If I ask 10,
but it's like putting your thing in a whole sleeve. No one wants to wear it.
you see what I'm saying? Women do not like
a sweater.
Women do not like some women should say they don't like the sleeveness.
Yeah.
They don't like that. Yeah. James, if I were to do a street interview right now and ask 10 women, do you know have you used a dental dam before? They'll be like, what's a dental dam?
It's like a slip and slide in a sweater.
Say, what is it called?
A dental dam. Yeah.
Dental, like dental.
Yes.
And dam.
Like a river dam, a small creek dam.
Then why is it dental? What does teeth have to do with anything?
So
because it's the other pair of lips. Come on now.
Hey, but it's dental.
It's inside the lips. Come on now.
What? This is not making any sense to me. I swear. Like,
so think of it like someone popped a balloon and just stretched it out over the nani, but then pushed it in the side.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't sound fun or off the rip. I'm not gonna tell my girl to use one because.
So my question is like, how do you start? Do you catch some air open?
It literally looks like a sleeve. No. Dead. It does. It looks like a sleeve.
And then you just.
It looks like you'll be blowing up like those balloons that are like the long where the balloon are. Yeah, it looks like that.
And you just put that in. And then,
You know what?
Yeah.
How about we just?
I mean, you can feel the heat.
Be absent until you find the one you need.
But you don't feel
the one you want, and get married, because this is wild.
You know what?
Like you feel the heat, but
here's the other thing.
You don't feel the juicy fruit of it. Like that's the great. You don't feel the juiciness. You're blocked from that.
I don't know. Maybe part of me would kind of feel like at that stature, maybe he would have probably been tying it up and giving it off to somebody else, so it would not be in the room available at all.
Excuse me, time out.
It was in the garbage. You guys are doing too much work on a situation that does not need to be.
Yo.
But I mean, of his stature, you have to recognize there are some people who are going to be like that already. Like, why even risk it? You're already risking it. Why risk it that much?
See, you're telling me he's paying someone on salary. Like there's a checkbook for this person. That disposes
for garbage disposal.
Just disposal. Mm-hmm.
Wow. She's like, yo, man, then handle this for me. And then the guy just takes it.
I wish you guys wouldn't be making
you should confuse with dental dams and the hot sauce.
Which that's making a job. Let's be honest.
My brain.
That's a good thing to contribute to society. A job.
I don't know, man. The moral of the story is just go to Walgreens.
No more hot sauce.
No, don't do hot sauce, man.
Just get the spermicide.
Just get rid of the spermicide.
Yeah. But then you know what? But at the same time, maybe that might be still problematic, because then if she still thinks she's like, ooh,
I am baffled at the fact that you're telling. I'm baffled at the fact that you guys are here saying, well, he should have done this. No.
Wait, no. I didn't get to the woman yet. Wait.
Listen, I'm already done with this lady, the fact that she couldn't see it was another color, we're over. This conversation, you just need to fall somewhere. Like, I don't know.
So we don't need to make reasoning for be like, oh, he'll get sperm. No, he had it. And she decided, what if the spermicide? What if the spermicide did worse?
That's what I'm saying.
What if that made like
she was? Then that's a whole like
throwing everything in there, and then she puts out in her insides. Like, what if?
Yo, what action was that?
It goes in there anyways.
like it foams up like hydrogen peroxide.
It's
And you decide
supposed
to
to.
now. Anyway, um, next topic. Nerdsy,
Ah,
you had a vent that you were venting about the other day.
what was it?
Um,
Related
about
to Toronto creatives.
Oh,
yes, you can go ahead and start that up and explain your take on that.
Okay, so obviously, like I feel like anybody who is in the arts, entertainment, media, creative spaces, I think that a lot of us are very phenomenal and outstanding individuals, and we do a lot of work, and we're not, recognized for what we do and acknowledged for the amount of contributions that we create, especially here in Canada. You know, it's unfortunate that we have to actually leave the country, just like our imports and export, and then come back in order for us to be having some type of value. So in my vent, it was really in regards to that. And the fact that, we live in such a beautiful multicultural area, and yet the creatives here in Toronto, it wasn't even for them. It was really the people who do not support them. That was my shot. My shot was at the people who do not support creatives here in Toronto, the people who do not back them up, especially if they see them putting in the work, putting in the hours, doing all that stuff. Yes, I understand. You do not have to do that. You don't have to back them up. I understand that. But imagine if we actually, going back to our earlier topic, if we were capable of being self-sufficient. The person who takes the pictures, who helps with the media and marketing, who then helps the business to get further and get a better audience. The business gets paid, but the media and the photographer would not.
Oh, okay.
They're the creative parts. It's the same with like, who else? Artists and performers who put on shows for galas and for different businesses. They attract the crowd for those businesses. Dancers come, they got backup dancers, but the artists and the dancers don't get paid and they don't get recognized. So it's like those people in that, they are always collaborating and helping or benefiting or, really marketing and pushing a lot of businesses, but they're not respectfully getting their props. So it's like, support them, support the creatives here in like Toronto and support the creatives in Canada altogether. Like, we do amazing work. Shit. A lot of Hollywood is Canadian. We do amazing work. That's it. That's my piece.
Sorry, guys. Give me one sec. Yes.
So yeah,
it was just that. It's just we need to like actually do better and give our people our ratings. Recognize them.
it's not so much like the flowers thing, because that's more like,
Yeah, give them their flowers. Recognize their flowers. Don't ask for a discount. Like,
oh, that's
that's
very,
one of it. Just because you're a dancer. I mean, you could do this for me. You can create a whole minute choreography and just like get 5 other girls to come and do this choreography and teach them and just perform. That would be great. So how much is studio cost? How much is the time and energy that's going to be put in to get those girls? How much is the fee for that person who learned and put in and invested for their own skills to be taught to go and teach these other girls? So that's time, energy, payment, that's studio space, practice, all that stuff for you to show up somewhere, perform, and not get paid.
and not get paid, yeah. Or they'll pay you in social media credit. Like, oh, shout you out, and they'll still won't do that.
Like, yeah.
Or, I was gonna say the discount thing, like yeah, people gotta realize discounts is like so situational. Like,
Yeah.
Like you leave it up to the
person,
yeah. Right? As opposed to like every time you see them, like, yo, what about 10%? It's like, yo, like,
because
just be grateful for that one
yeah
moment, right?
yeah because especially if we're supposed to be reliant on businesses, I think a lot of creatives are not recognized as businesses too. So it's like that's just their business. Their business is the space of art or creativity. And sometimes people don't recognize that creativity actually has a lot behind it,
Yeah.
In order for people to be good artists, sometimes it takes hours, it takes years, it takes dedication, time, energy, sacrifices. And it's like,
Right. Never
I think
mind. Never mind the fact they lowball people up here too. That's a whole nother.
that's the other part. That is a big one. And it's so crazy. So okay. So I have my many stories, whether it's my own or other people. So because I've recently done a TV show for dancers, right, called The Movement. I had the fortunate experience to actually tell a lot of or share the platform with a lot of dancers and them being able to tell their stories about how it is in the industry, their years of experience, all the other stuff. And I remember having a conversation with an old b-boy. He's not old, but like he was one of the first b-boys in Canada. And I remember him sharing his experience with a commercial brand and how the commercial brand had asked him to come perform and everything. And originally, the agreement was that they were going to receive payment, and it was 5 guys, but a payment of $200 to be dispersed among 5 guys. And then they said that they were also going to give them product, which was the branding of that commercial company, right? So when they started leaving after they did everything, and this is b-boying. B-boying is not an easy dance form. Not
one mistake and you can
break a limb.
It can break a limb, yeah.
Okay. So right off the bat, you're squeezing $200 and then you're being told, okay, you get to wear the gear or whatever. As they're leaving, he's saying that the person who's overseeing the merchandise, she tells them that they have to drop the bag. Otherwise, they're going to get, she's going to call the cops for theft. Yes.
So drop the bag, meaning the bag of merch.
The merchandise that they were supposed to receive.
That they're supposed to receive, right. Wow.
And she was threatening to call the cops on them. So, all that to say, a scenario where this person has worked a job, risked their life, put their dedication, hard sweat, tears, and everything, joy into this to do a performance for this commercial brand, to then be treated like that. It's like, and this is a commercial brand. Like, what?
I don't know. It's like I always refer to if I have to compare the States to Canada.
Yeah.
Let's say he got signed in the States, he would have got paid 90% more.
Yeah.
Right. Not saying the same. Not saying the same shadiness would happen, because many artists, a lot of artists, have the same story of how shady the business could be. But if the business was done right, he would have got paid more in the States.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that's my thing. I want to understand, why is it that the creative market isn't getting paid the way that they should be paid, or I don't know, it's just so weird to me. So, but yeah, that was essentially what my event was all about. It was about, it was really recognizing those who do not support the creatives and the time and the effort and the energy that gets put into creating such beautiful spaces, and just art altogether, or just creativity, and being able to display it and have us as the spectators or consumers to be able to have access to it. So it's why? Why? There's enough, as they say, there's enough for everyone to eat, eh? There's plenty. We need to stop thinking there's scarcity here in Toronto. There's plenty. A lot.
So. It's kind of why the internet's so popular now is because let's say you do art on the side and you do I know there's two people that I follow, I think, that do like pop culture icons. So like from Cameo, Madonna, Tupac, you name it. Like instead of just waiting, I think one's Canadian, one's in the States. But the one that's Canadian, how he markets his like product, he goes on anyone he draws, he goes on the page and shows the artwork, and then he has his own Shopify, and then eventually I watched as like he started making stickers, started making like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. But he didn't really like he I think he determined what he wanted to get paid with. So like he didn't wait for someone to come in and be like, yo, we like your designs. Oh, this is cool. Okay, we're gonna sign you. We're gonna take maybe 70% because we're feeling nice. We like you. But it's like, nah, he took it in his own hands, and like now he gets to profit and set the price. All because of the
where he
internet.
wants.
Yeah. So
I hear that. I hear that.
it seems that's what you have to do here. Because everything's global now. See, my mentality is like you want to capture your home base, your local, but like I've run into like artists from the States that have the same story that or the same event that you had, which are like, yo, in my hometown, I was putting up flyers, I was talking to promoters, and like, yo, I couldn't get on, and it seemed I had to like leave.
Because as they say, strangers give you the most love.
Yeah, like a T-Pain. So he grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, right? So while he was on the up and coming up, making music, doing all sorts of stuff, he would put up flyers and stuff like that. People would be like, they don't want to hear it. So it's like he had to get signed under Akon. And then Akon had to take him to like, where's the spot? LA. Take him to LA. Akon says, hey, I got this new guy out of Florida, Tallahassee. Very talented. They play the music. He gets blown up there because they control like the networks. They start putting it to like New York, Chicago, and Atlanta, especially Atlanta. T-Pain like really blew up in Atlanta. And after that, started touring. You see the music videos, we're bumping his music. And then after a while, he came back to Tallahassee. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, we always believed in you. You have the key to the city.
Yeah. That's wild. That's crazy.
I always think about that. Like I don't know if Drake, The Weeknd
had to go through that.
Tory, PNB.
I feel like they did. And I feel like Tory definitely did.
Yeah, like he couldn't stay here and do it. He had to go to the States. Same thing for The Weeknd. Same thing for Drake. I think Cardi tried to. Cardinal Official. But I think right now he's an A&R in Universal, which is a really good spot to be in.
Yeah.
He can manage the talent here. And he can oversee. And then funny, he has the power to be like, yo, you guys need to like check out this person because they're dope, right? Yeah, but like many artists before Drake, they all tried it. They all tried like, okay, I'm from here, but I gotta work with the States because right? It seemed like Drake was the one like kind of kicked the door and like people after him, they were able to have an easier time marketing themselves to a global audience, right?
Yeah. So. And maybe there's levels to it that we just don't see, you know, like maybe you have to get certain credentials and be in certain spaces in order for you to actually get the accolades that you're deserving, right? Because like even for myself, I've been looking into like different photography spaces, right? And just like looking at some of the things that are available here in Canada for photographers. Like, how do you get recognized as an accredited photographer here? What are some awards that you might have to win? Who are the top grossing or top well-known photographers that are happening or who's happening right now? And like, what's the style? What's the movement? All that other stuff. So maybe that's the other part that maybe not a lot of people are actually taking the time to actually develop and learn more of like who is actually at the top in their area to know whether or not you're actually going in the right direction or not, you know? So, but yeah, support your artists, support your creatives. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go buy their shirts. You gotta
Right?
retweet their stuff,
Right?
promote their stuff. Yeah.
Facts. Do the bigger cause, the bigger picture.
Oh, you're like,
Oh,
I think it's like pop blocking. Oh, you're good now. Okay.
yeah, I got nothing really to say on that. I agree. I agree because I don't, but hey, I agree with certain things. I do. Uh, I guess we could wrap it up. You guys have anything to plug?
Mm. Well, as I was just talking about my photography business, definitely go check out z.studio, TOZZZ.studio, STUDIOTO on Instagram, and check out my website. And of course, I'm always doing a little giveaway, a little shoot and something else. And definitely look forward to some of these images that I got coming out. Ooh-wee. These brand collaborations have everything.
That's it.
Yeah.
DELNIJIRO. No, I'm not Earl Sweatshirt. AKA Grandfather Energy. AKA Captain Corners, as always. Yeah, support Twitter, IG. I'm not even gonna say the word follower anymore. I'm actually gonna reprogram the language. But no, support. Because I think when you tell someone like, yo, support me, right? It gives a different meaning to it. And I feel like they'll be more engaged in your world, your ecosystem, everything. So like, yeah, support me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm not gonna follow us anymore. I'm gonna have supporters. So there it is. Otherwise, save your money because this oxtail is not gonna be cheap anymore. These fruits are not gonna be cheap anymore. Invest in penny stocks, especially.
Oh, NFTs.
Or NFTs.
Oh.
So, James?
You can follow me at Jay Hernaville. I didn't change my name yet. Follow me on Twitch at Lou Pistols. I got my first Twitch payout.
Oh,
hey.
Great. So now I'm back in the bases. So now more payouts. You guys can follow the Busy Boys Close Pod out. You can follow me. That's about it. Yeah. Oh, Hover. Hover is a new it's like TikTok for streamers. I have my name, Lou Pistols. And yeah, that's about it. For the pod, you can email us at askthevent@gmail.com. We're on SoundCloud, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, everything.
I took a look. Google Podcasts too.
Google Podcasts, everything. If we're not there, let us know and we'll be there. In February, the vet will be starting to do Twitter Spaces.
Hey.
Eventually, we're going to be talking about other things. We might have the vent court. We might have the vent just vets, or we might have some special guests pop up. Who knows? But we'll be touching on a Twitter Space. Moderated by us, and we're gonna be, talking and chopping up, having a little more interactive stuff. And yeah, we just want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is The Vent, and we out. Peace.